Magnetic field. Let us perform some activities to understand this concept. Let us take a bar magnet and some pins. Now, place the pins at a distance from each other such that the magnet and pins do not stick to each other. Let us now slowly move the magnet towards the pins. We observe that the pins get pulled towards the magnet. This activity shows that the magnet attracts pins from afar. That is, a magnet has an effect even at a distance. Come, let us perform one more activity. Activity. Let us take a small cardboard and place a bar magnet at its center. Now, sprinkle some iron filings on the cardboard around the magnet and tap the cardboard gently. What do we observe? Yes, the iron filings can arrange themselves in a specific pattern around the magnet. Maximum iron filings stick to the ends of the magnet. From these two activities, we come to know that there is space around the magnet in which the magnetic force is exerted. The British researcher Michael Faraday named these lines going from one end of the bar magnet to the other end of the magnet as magnetic lines of force. The region around a magnet where the magnetic force acts on an object is called a magnetic field. The magnetic field around a magnet can be shown by means of magnetic lines of force. The intensity of the magnetic field at a place can be gauged by the number of lines of force that pass through a unit area at that place perpendicular to that area. Michael Faraday imagined that there might be invisible lines of force going from one pole of a magnet to the other, and that magnetic attraction or repulsion might be taking place through the medium of these lines of force. If Faraday's idea is accepted, the intensity of the magnetic field can be obtained from the number of lines of force as explained earlier. The intensity of a magnetic field is low where the lines of force are sparse, and the intensity is high where the lines of force are concentrated. Let us now learn the properties of magnetic lines of force. Properties of magnetic lines of force. While proposing the concept of lines of force, Michael Faraday argued that if all observed effects are to be explained satisfactorily, then the lines of force must have certain properties. They are: 1. Magnetic lines of force are imaginary connecting lines, and Faraday introduced the concept of lines of force in order to explain magnetic attraction and repulsion. 2. Magnetic lines of force always run from the North Pole to the South Pole. The South Pole may be of the same magnet or a different one. 3. Magnetic lines of force are in a state of tension like a stretched spring. 4. Magnetic lines of force repel each other. 5. Magnetic lines of force do not intersect each other. 6. The number of the magnetic lines of force at a particular point determines the strength of the magnetic field there. From the figure, we can see how the properties put forward by Faraday help to explain the repulsion between like poles and attraction between opposite poles. According to the third property, the lines of force joining the north and south poles of a magnet being in a stretched state like a spring pull the two opposite poles towards each other. By the fourth property, they give rise to repulsion between like poles. After understanding about properties of magnetic lines of force, let us now proceed further. Penetrating ability of the magnetic field. Let us perform some activities. Let us spread some pins on a table. Now, hold a cardboard at a small distance above these pins. Let us now place a bar magnet on the cardboard. We observe that the pins get stuck to the bottom of the cardboard. Let us now move the magnet slowly over the cardboard. As we move the magnet, the pins stuck to the cardboard also move. If we increase the layers of cardboard, we observe that less number of pins get stuck to the cardboard. Do you know why does this happen? Well, it happens because the distance between the magnet and pins increases. Thus, the intensity of magnetic field decreases. Come, let us now perform another interesting activity. Activity: let us fill water in a glass. You can use a plastic bottle instead of glass. Now drop a few pins in the water. The pins sink at the bottom. Let us take a bar magnet near the glass. What do we observe? We observe that as the magnet moves nearer to the glass, the pins move towards the magnet. When the magnet is brought very close to the glass, the pins stick to the surface of the glass. Now, if we move the magnet through a small distance vertically, the pins stuck to the surface of glass move along with the magnet. From these two activities, we understand that a magnetic field can pass through a cardboard, a glass, or water. Come, let us perform one more activity. Activity: let us take water in a trough. Let us take a plastic lid and place a bar magnet in it. Now, let us float the lid of the surface of the water. Let us now take one magnetized needle and stick it firmly to a small piece of thick cardboard using a sticking tape. Now, place the magnetized needle stuck to the cardboard in the water near the magnet. What do we observe? Yes, the needle being magnetized settles in the north-south direction. If we place the needle at different places around the magnet, we notice that the direction in which the bar magnet and magnetized needle settles is the same. After understanding about magnet, magnetic field, and magnetic lines of force, let us answer a few questions. What is meant by magnetic force? The force of attraction or repulsion between the poles of the magnet, or the force by which magnetic substances are attracted towards the magnet, is called magnetic force. How does a magnetic force act without direct contact? Magnetic force is produced due to the magnetic lines of force. Magnetic lines of force start from the North Pole and end on the South Pole. Therefore, these lines of force are spread in the region around the magnet. Because of this, the magnetic force can act up to a certain distance from the magnet. Thus, a magnetic force acts without direct contact. Next question. What is the difference between gravitational force and magnetic force? The gravitational force acts on any object which has mass. There is only attraction, no repulsion in case of gravitational force. The magnetic force does not act on every object. It acts between magnets as well as magnets and magnetic substances. Both attraction and repulsion take place in the case of magnetic force. Come, after this question-answer session, let us move to the next part.